What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Brand Blueprint. A lot of founders still think AI is mostly changing discovery, how people search, how people browse, how people compare, how people find content. And that's mostly true. That was the first chapter. But the new chapter is much bigger. AI shopping is moving from discovery to transaction. And that is the signal. Because once the platform is not just helping the shopper find a product, but also helping them track it, compare it, add it, monitor it, and potentially buy it, the entire job of the brand completely changes. This stops being a content conversation, which is one that all of us have been having. It becomes a commerce infrastructure conversation. And if you are a founder selling products online, especially in e-commerce or consumer goods, that matters because your brand is no longer just competing to be found. You are competing to be interpretable, trusted, and a transaction ready inside AI interfaces. I know you're like, what, Dana? Trust me, it's a very different game. Let's start with what changed. Google's current Merchant Center documentation now says products can show for free across a wide set of Google surfaces, including search, maps, Gemini, YouTube, the shopping tab, images, and Lens. It also says Google relies on the data merchants provide to match products with what shoppers are searching for. And it explicitly says that the product attributes merchants submit are the foundation for showing products for free on Google, your product attributes. Now, we'll talk a little bit more about that later. But on May 6th, Google announced new updates to AI mode and AI overviews, saying it is rolling out new ways to help people find relevant websites, deep insights, and original content from across the web. Now, that matters because it signals a continued move towards AI-shaped browsing behavior inside search. But the bigger shift came through Google I/O shopping coverage. Multiple reports from last week described Google's new universal cart as a cross-platform shopping layer working across search, Gemini, YouTube, and Gmail. The reporting says it can track price drops, restocks, compatibility issues, and card perks, and use Google's shopping infrastructure to make the buying process much more fluid. It is not just a better served cart feature, it is a signal that Google wants AI shopping to move closer to active purchase orchestration. And this just didn't start last week. Back in January, AP reported that Google had already teamed with Walmart, Shopify, and Wayfair so shoppers could browse and buy products within the Gemini chat interface without going through the normal retailer site path first. That is a completely different kind of commerce motion than old school search and click, especially when you have retailers partnering with Google to send traffic to Google. So in plain English, what's changed? The platform is no longer only trying to help shoppers discover products. It is trying to help them complete the shopping journey inside the interface itself. And once that happens, product visibility becomes only part of the game. Now the brand also has to be transaction legible. This is a market signal because it tells founders where commerce is headed next. The old school digital commerce stack assumed a shopper would basically start off and do basic stuff. Search, click, browse, compare. A lot of us do that. Compare one to the other, add it to your cart, and then buy it on your website. But the new stack is increasingly assuming something completely different. The shopper may ask an AI system, what do I buy? And the AI system may compare options for them. The AI system may keep watching prices and stock, and the AI system may bring the merchant into a cross-platform cart. And the actual buying decision may happen with far less direct brand interaction than founders are used to. That matters a lot because if the interface becomes the shopping assistant, the brand loses some of the storytelling time it used to count on to really engage consumers and keep them on their website. And when storytelling time compresses, structured trust signals, they matter a lot more. And those things are like price integrity, inventory integrity, shipping accuracy, return clarity, product specs, ratings, and compatibility. All of these things AI is going to start using more and more to direct people to you or away from you. Now, Google's own Merchant Center help page already points founders in this very specific direction. It says return policy information now matters, shipping settings now matter, matching your product data in Merchant Center with your online store now matters. And keeping Merchant Center accurate and high quality affects whether products show up effectively across Google or not. Now, that's not just SEO, and that is not just managing your feed. This is the beginning of an agent-ready commerce world. Now, let's talk about the real risk, because the risk is not just, okay, Dana, I might lose some traffic. No, it's not. It's bigger than that. So let's talk about the real risk, because I know many of you are listening to this and saying, all right, Dana, maybe I lose a little traffic. Whatever, I'm not engaging with AI. The bigger risk is that your brand becomes easy for the system to actually skip. Not because the product is bad, because the product is messy. Messy pricing, messy stock status, messy shipping, messy returns, messy titles, messy descriptions. Many of you who work directly with me hear this all the time. Messy category logic, messy promotion rules. And when AI systems mediate more of the comparison and the cart behavior, the brands that are hardest to interpret, they become the brands easiest to leave out. And there is another real risk. Mid-funnel control, that starts to thin out for you. If the shopper used to spend 5 minutes on your site comparing options, reading your copy, seeing your bundles, feeling all of those dope designs, and understanding your value story, you had room to shape their decision. But if the interface is doing more of the comparing and reminding and carting before the shopper really even lands with you, then you have less room for a vague value proposition. And so I know you got to be asking, what happens? Well, let me tell you, the middle gets punished again. The fuzzy product page gets punished. The brand that cannot state what the product actually is, who it's for, why it matters, and what the shopper actually gets, you get punished. And the founder who thought discovery was enough realizes transaction readiness is now part of discoverability. This is a major shift. So, what are smart founders doing right now? Well, let me tell you, because I work with a lot of them. First, they are tightening a top 1 to 3 SKUs in their lineup, not trying to optimize the whole catalog at once. Because the first question is not, can AI understand your entire business and your entire catalog? The first question is, can AI clearly understand the few products we most need surfaced and chosen? Second, smart founders are making sure their site and feed tell the same truth. Same title logic, same availability, same price, same shipping reality, and same return policy. Google's current Merchant Center guidance explicitly recommends matching the Merchant Center data with the online stores so customers see the same information across both. And many of you have different pricing in different places. You need to think about how you have that set up, because it will potentially penalize you in this new AI-driven system. Third, smart founders are simplifying the comparative story. Not just brand adjectives, not just emotional language, but clear comparative logic. What is your product? What problem does your product solve? What makes it different from your competitors? What should a machine or a shopper quickly understand about your product? And why would this win against other options in the category? And fourth, smart founders are deciding what parts of the shopping experience they are actually willing to let the platforms manage. Because the next phase is not just a visibility decision, it's also some control you're giving up. So this becomes a controlled decision. Are you comfortable with the platform handling more of the product comparison? Are you comfortable with the platform comparing more of the cart logic, more of your purchase path management, and more of your payment flow? Now, for some founders, that answer is going to be yes. But for other founders, and I know many of them, the answer should be much more strategic. And fifth, they are protecting what still has to remain brand owned. Email capture, post-purchase flow, subscription logic, community, retention, customer understanding, brand memory. These are things that AI cannot handle for you, because if the top of the funnel gets more platform mediated, then what you do after the sale matters even more. So let me make this practical. If you sell products online, here's a 6-step filter I want you to start using now. Step 1, pick the 1 to 3 SKUs that matter the most in your lineup. Step 2, audit the machine readable truth. Titles, descriptions, price, availability, shipping, returns, images, identifiers, audit them all. Step 3, make the site and the feed agree with each other. Step 4, rewrite product pages so they help both humans and systems. Clear category, clear use case, clear value, clear fit. Step 5, decide what parts of the purchase journey you are willing to delegate to external interfaces and what parts must remain more tightly brand controlled. Step 6, strengthen the post-purchase relationship so the brand still matters after the transaction happens. That is how operators think about this real shift. Not as an AI gimmick, not trying to trick or hack the system. That is how operators think about this shift. Not as an AI gimmick, but as a commerce architecture change. So here's the big takeaway. The next shift in e-commerce is not just that AI helps people search better. It is that AI interfaces are getting closer to the cart and the actual transaction itself. And once that happens, folks, the brands that win are not just the brands that show up on their own page and do all this great marketing. They are the brands that are clear enough to interpret, clear enough to compare, accurate enough to trust. Accuracy equals trust, and strong enough to still matter after the click. Shopping interfaces are becoming buying systems, people, and founders need to start acting like that is true right now, because the brands that adapt early are not just going to get found. They are going to be easier to choose. Thanks again for tuning in to another episode of Market Signal on the Brand Blueprint. Please like, share, and follow our content, and make sure you continue to follow all of our various updates, including our Funding Friday and our Brand Blueprint founder interviews. Thanks again, and we'll see you on the next episode of Market Signal with the Brand Blueprint.